Ladies and gentlemen, representing the acclaimed boxing family from Houston, WBC and WBA 154-pound champion of the world, Terence Crawford.
Goodness, this kid is patient, he has extreme punching power, and he has speed and timing. He is dynamic.
This kid, to me, is the future.
Watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen.
Making his way to the ring.
I actually think that a fight between Terence and Canelo would be really interesting.
Crawford going up to 168 to face Canelo.
I think that Canelo is not who he was 3-4 years ago. Really wouldn't say he's declining, definitely not fast, but I mean his career is definitely not doing this. And it hasn't done this in 2 or 3 years. So obviously it ain't a fast decline, but Canelo's certainly just not who he used to be. Terence Crawford, you imagine he's probably training at 160, which means his body's not foreign to being as high as 165, even 168. He doesn't come to the ring on fight night above 170. Canelo does, but then again, you're saying, hey, the faster, quicker, lighter fighter who more than likely has power and strength at that weight class. His body's weight is that weight class. He's cutting down to 47. He's cutting down to 54. So it's just, I think those are the things that people don't know and then they overlook.
Well, first of all, I give Crawford all the credit in the world for even thinking about possibly fighting Canelo. But if that fight ever takes place, I have Crawford 1,000%. And people are going to say, oh, well, you're contradicting yourself. I kind of am, but Crawford is also a big guy. Crawford is a big guy who can handle a Canelo because they're the same size. Crawford is a guy who punches hard, but he doesn't rely on his power. He relies on his footwork. He relies on his speed, on his change-ups. He relies on his combinations. He relies on his mind. And I believe that Crawford is a way better boxer than Canelo.
So you said 68, but you mean 54, right?
No, 68.
You want to go up to 68. So who would you fight at 68? Canelo?
If he win, or Charlo, the winner.
Wow. That would be crazy.
I want to be 3-time undisputed.
So your goal was to go up and become undisputed in 3 different weight classes.
There you go.
Wow.
Something that never been done before.
Right.
I always said, man, that's a big step. That's a big step, but for a person to go up 3 weight classes from 147 to 168 and to win and become undisputed, wow. What can they say? They can't say nothing right now, but what can they say? What would they say though? 3-time undisputed champion and the smaller fighter that went up 3 weight divisions to conquer one of the baddest mans.
Fight fans, welcome back to Luxurytainment. Strap yourselves in for a roller coaster of excitement as we explore the ins and outs of this incredible battle of champions. Ladies and gentlemen, fight enthusiasts, welcome to another exhilarating edition of Inside the Ring. Today, we're diving headfirst in the scorching topic that's ignited the boxing world, the potential superfight between 2 modern-day legends, Saul Canelo Alvarez and Terence Bud Crawford. So let's take a deep dive into the prospects of Canelo versus Crawford in 2024. Let's start by acknowledging that both Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford are fresh off awe-inspiring victories that solidified their dominance. Just recently, Canelo dismantled Jamel Charlo, And not long ago, Crawford left no doubts by crushing Errol Spence Jr. But the question that's on everyone's lips is, should these two exceptional fighters square off in 2024? In the aftermath of his fight, Canelo addressed the Crawford question during his post-fight press conference. Interestingly, he left the door slightly ajar, saying, "I always say if the fight makes sense, why not? But he's not in the plan right now." Those words offer a glimmer of hope that fight fans are latching onto. Let's confront the elephant in the room. There's substantial weight difference between these two great fighters. Canelo competes in the super middleweight division at 168 pounds, whereas Crawford is entrenched at welterweight, 21 pounds lighter. In the world of boxing, that is a great gap, and this is why we have weight classes. History provides valuable lessons in this context. Remember when Floyd Mayweather avoided moving up to middleweight despite his capabilities? He understood his size limits. Oscar De La Hoya ventured there, only to be crushed. Manny Pacquiao ventured just 3 pounds north and felt the strain. Canelo, like Mayweather, won't budge below 168 pounds. Considering that Crawford is 3 years older than Canelo and commenced his career at lightweight, ascending to super middleweight or even middleweight within a year is a great leap. Canelo has climatized to 168 pounds, but can Crawford adapt swiftly? Canelo has inked a 3-fight deal with PBC, with 1 bout already in the books. It's anticipated that he'll fight again in May and September 2024 to fulfill his contractual obligations. Crawford, while recently collaborating with PBC, might not be locked into a long-term relationship, so timing and contractual commitments come into play. Speaking of opponents within their respective weight classes, there are tantalizing options on the horizon. Canelo could potentially face David Benavidez next. If Benavidez prevails over Demetrius Andrade, he might earn that shot. Meanwhile, for Crawford, the spectre of an Errol Spence Jr. rematch looms, possibly at 154 or 147 pounds. Crawford's intentions matter significantly here. He's not planning to fight indefinitely and is conscious of the hazards of an extended boxing career. So how many fights does he have left? That's a critical factor that could influence his decision. Keeping in mind that boxing is a business before it's a sport, if both fighters secure major victories, the financial incentive is colossal. Crawford's ambition may drive him to challenge Canelo, perceiving it is an illustrious addition to his already impressive resume. After all, both are destined for the Hall of Fame. Canelo too can craft a compelling legacy narrative. Facing an undefeated multi-division champion like Crawford could bolster his legacy claims. Many fans, beyond the internet debates, could endorse that storyline. Let's consider the alternatives within their current weight classes. If Canelo continues dominating at 168, what's left for him? Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev may not materialize at 175. On Crawford's side, what awaits him at 147 or 154? Bout Ennis is a possibility, but it's not a guaranteed blockbuster. Here's the crux of the matter. If the stars align and timing cooperates, Canelo versus Crawford could materialize in 2024. But should it? That's the burning question, one that will captivate the ardent fans, the pundits, and the keyboard warriors. As things stand today, I'm hesitant to declare it's a classic in the making. Crawford might be the pound-for-pound king, with only Naoya Inoue as a serious contender, but not Canelo. Nevertheless, the allure of witnessing two contemporary greats clash is irresistible. Oscar De La Hoya did controversially pick up a paper title at 160 pounds, then fought Bernard Hopkins and got crushed with a body shot and never went back to that weight. Manny Pacquiao did one single fight over 147 pounds, a 150 pound catchweight against a cooked Antonio Margarito. Pacquiao dominated the fights, but admitted it was just too big of a weight for him to truly be himself, Manny Pacquiao, and we're talking 3 pounds on the scale. Canelo with 60 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by the way of knockout, also is not going to fight under 168 pounds again, no matter the opponent. The last time he did so was to fight Daniel Jacobs in May 2019, and he'd already flirted with moving up to 168 pounds by then. He's still the biggest star in the sport. Nobody dictates terms to Canelo Alvarez. Since that Jacobs bout, Canelo has had 9 fights, 7 at 168 pounds and 2 up at 175 pounds in the light heavyweight division. Terence Crawford has never fought over 147 pounds, and he is 36 years old, 3 years older than Canelo. And just to remind you guys, Canelo started his career as a 140-pound fighter, yes, but he was only 15 years old back then. Crawford will, at some points, likely move up to 154 pounds, maybe even 160 pounds. But Canelo's not going to go under 168 pounds, and 168 is huge for Crawford, a guy who started his career and won his first world title at 135 pounds. Also looming on the PBC side could be Jermall Charlo, Jamel's twin brother. If he gets back in the ring, he'd be more likely for the September 2024 fight. Jermall is a complete wildcard, but there's obviously story there now, a brother looking for family revenge. Terence Crawford will move up if he was even going to consider trying it for real. Can Terence do that in a year's time? Right now, he has to either do an Errol Spence Jr. rematch or wriggle his way out of that by presenting weight terms. It's his call that Spence doesn't accept. A Spence rematch would be either 154 or 147 pounds. That's going to take up a chunk of time, probably, even if it doesn't happen. Just through back and forth between the camps. If it's 154, that would be helpful for Crawford. But it's still 14 pounds below 168 pounds, and as Jermall Charlo found out, that ain't nothing. Terence Crawford, 40 wins, 0 losses, 31 wins by the way of knockout. Also doesn't sound like he plans to fight forever. He's realistic about both his age and the danger of boxing, and especially if you hang around too long past your peak. He's made good and great money for quite a while now. How many more fights will he even have? Let's break down the advantages and disadvantages of both Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford in a potential showdown. The advantages of Canelo Alvarez: size and power. Canelo fights at 168 pounds, a weight class higher than Crawford's 147 pounds. He possesses more size and natural power, which could be a significant advantage in a potential matchup. Experience at higher weight class. Canelo has successfully campaigned at super middleweight and light heavyweight, giving him valuable experience against larger opponents. Adaptability. Canelo is known for his adaptability and versatility in the ring. He can adjust his style to exploit his opponent's weaknesses, which makes him a formidable opponent for anyone. Body punching. Alvarez is an exceptional body puncher. His ability to target the body can wear down the opponent and slow down their movements over the course of the fight. High boxing IQ. Canelo has a high boxing IQ, making him a tactician in the ring. He can read his opponents and make strategic adjustments as needed. Now let's look at the disadvantages of Canelo Alvarez. Speed. Compared to Crawford, Canelo may lack the same level of speed, especially in terms of footwork and hand speed. Height and reach. Crawford has a height and reach advantage which can help him maintain distance and control the pace of the fight. Weight transition. Canelo has mostly fought in the middleweight and super middleweight divisions recently. Moving down to 147 or meeting Crawford at 154 might pose a challenge in terms of adjusting to a lower weight. Advantages of Terence Crawford. Speed and agility. Crawford is known for his exceptional speed, quick reflexes and agility, which can allow him to land shots and avoid punches effectively. Versatile switch hitter. Crawford can switch between orthodox and southpaw stances seamlessly, making him unpredictable and difficult to read for his opponents. Technical proficiency. Crawford's technical skills are top-notch. He has a wide array of offensive and defensive maneuvers in his arsenal. Ring IQ. Crawford's boxing intelligence is exceptional. He often finds and exploits his opponent's weaknesses during the course of a fight. Experience at welterweight. Crawford has spent most of his career at welterweight, which means he's acclimatized to the division and its fighters. Disadvantages of Terence Crawford. Size disadvantage. Moving up to face Canelo at 168 pounds would put Crawford at a significant size disadvantage, potentially making it difficult to handle Canelo's power. Less experience at higher weight classes. While Crawford has shown versatility, he hasn't faced opponents as large as Canelo at super middleweight or light heavyweight. Pressure and stamina. Crawford has faced less pressure in his fights compared to Canelo. Sustaining the pressure and pace that Canelo sets could be a challenge. So fight fans, what do you think? Is Canelo versus Crawford a fight you'd love to watch? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks for joining us today, and until next time, have a great day.
Don't ask me about Crawford because that